I
Siphoning
just want
energy.
to go through some of the ways in which people siphon other people's energy. So, how do people who are performing witchcraft actually do destiny swapping? Because it's actually a very intricate process. Like it takes like a lot of steps, right? One of the steps is that there has to be a very secure relationship between the two people. So the people have to be quite I wouldn't say close, but a secure relationship, right? If it's a friendship, it must be secure, and it must also be serviced. So the thing that makes the witchcraft more powerful is the level of the bond between the people. If the people are just, for example, colleagues, not really that close, the witchcraft will definitely have some limitations. But if the witchcraft is between people who are, like, for example, best friends, because you know how the Bible says, David and Jonathan, their souls were knit because they were best friends. Because there are such things such as soul ties, even in friendships, you might find that in the instance of soul ties, so many of these people's spiritual realities tend to sometimes revolve around each other and sometimes clash. So if the one person has favor, it's very likely that the other person will also have favor. It's just like, for example, Abraham and Lot. God blessed Abraham a lot, and because Lot was around Abraham, he began to flourish. It's just an energy thing. If you are around people who have money and make money, in a few years' time, you're probably going to be like them. They always say, "Show me your company and I will show you your what," something like that. Yeah. But basically, what I'm trying to say is, right, the strength of a relationship is what actually makes the witchcraft potent. And you need to be careful because how people actually help create a nourishing environment for witchcraft is by servicing friendship. You will find that friends who perform witchcraft on other friends, like they always want to like spend time with them, they always want to buy them gifts, they always want to be as close as possible to this person, right? And it's not necessarily because they love the person, it's actually because they understand that the closeness of proximity to this person is what actually allows the smooth sailing of extraction of blessings from that person. And for me, I had a friend who was, she just would not leave me, like, let me go. Like, she was so clingy. Like, everything I would do, she would be there. Like, I wake up, she's there. Like, I'm trying to go to work. She's already calling me. Like, she's just like, she was just very clingy. And I had no idea that it was actually her servicing the friendship so that the connection of her witchcraft altars can be strong. So what that tells us is that one of the ways to siphon energy is by securing friendships or securing relationships, right? Whether it's marital, whatever the case may be. Something else that's so important. I don't know what it is about those evil altars, right? But whenever this person or whenever the person whom they are performing witchcraft on is about to have breakthrough or is about to get deliverance, somewhere, somehow, I don't know if it's the monitoring spirits or what, but somewhere, somehow, those people and those altars catch wind of the fact that something good is coming for this person. And you will find that these people will begin to now call you a lot, speak to you over the phone, how you doing, or even just text you. What are they doing? They're actually just trying to siphon your energy through that phone call. So be careful of phone calls. Phone calls are a very, very silent way in which people actually siphon people's energies. Be careful about responding to text messages. People siphon people's energies through text messages. They just want that little bit of connection because once they get that connection, they're able then to connect it to their altar and then siphon or steal the blessing that was coming for you. Or if they have just performed a witchcraft spell, sometimes part of the requirement is that after doing the spell, they have to then come into contact with you. So you will find that maybe you will have a dream about someone, you will see them doing something in your dreams. The next day, suddenly they call you. Or the next day, something bad happens. I don't know, anything bad happens. And suddenly this person's calling you, "Hi, are you okay? I'm just checking on you." "Oh no, what happened?" They actually already knew. It's actually part of an elaborate witchcraft scheme to siphon your energy. So just be careful about people who call you when bad things happen, people who call you when good things happen, people who call you after you dream of them, people who call you after you think of them, because in many instances it is actually a design of the witchcraft altar to siphon your blessings and your spirit, or to seal a witchcraft spell. One very telling sign of the fact that someone is siphoning energy from you from a phone call or from text messages is that after you engage with this person, right, on a phone call or on text, whatever the case may be, you will feel a sense of being drained, right? Something in your chest cavity will just kind of have a vacuum. You will feel a bit restless, a bit anxious. yeah, that is indication of the fact that this person, as you're speaking to them, they drain you. And just be careful of those kinds of friendships or relationships where after you speak to them, you don't feel full. You feel like, actually, man, hey, mm-mm. And that's how I was feeling a lot with the friends that I was keeping. Like after I would speak to them, I just always feel like, it's not feeling that great. And one thing I also noticed is that these people operate via monitoring spirits, right? And sometimes they are the monitoring spirit themselves. So they will frequently call you, hey, Chomi, let's have a catch up lunch, blah, 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 And the idea behind the catch up lunch is really just to source out as much from you, just to gauge how you are doing. And you will realize that you plan to say, okay, look, I'm not gonna overshare. I'm not gonna like divulge too much. But when you're in the presence of this person, you just end up saying so much. And then you end up regretting it and you're like, why did I say all those things? And then you have that sunken feeling and you just feel like you're like a bit empty. Like, why did I do that? Yeah, another typical example of energy siphoning and people using witchcraft. And it's things that seem like they're very obvious, but we just tend to think, maybe it was just the way that I felt. Nah, girl. Mm-mm. Be careful of these people.